Hello everyone, this is Swarup, Assistant Professor Mechanical Engineering Department. So today we shall study about the subject heat transfer. Okay. So under we shall study about heat exchanger. Uh, Heat exchanger is the lecture 4. So under this NTU and effectiveness of heat exchanger. Okay. Yes. So now heat exchanger effectiveness and number of transfer units. So we know what is logarithmic mean temperature difference. Okay. So when inlet and outlet conditions are specified, we will be using these two. So when the problem is determine the inlet and exit temperatures for a particular heat exchanger, the analysis is performed more easily by using method based on effectiveness of heat exchanger and number of transfer units. Okay. So let's define what is effectiveness. Effectiveness is just actual heat transfer to the particular maximum heat that heat exchanger can be transferred. Okay, so if you take a problematic way, so q divided by q max, it means actual heat transfer divided by maximum heat possible transfer. Okay, so we know that q, that is heat transfer with respect to hot fluid and with respect to cold fluid. Okay, so where mhcph defines your hot fluid capacity rate and mccpc defines your cold fluid capacity rate. Okay, so here C minimum defines the minimum fluid capacity rate. It means whichever it might be smaller one, whether CH or CC. Okay, C maximum means maximum fluid capacity rate. It means CH or CC. So the value which they give with respect to CH and CC, so whichever which is higher and lower, it defines your C minimum and C maximum. Okay, so the maximum possible temperature change that can be achieved by only one fluids are depending upon their heat capacity rates. Okay, so the maximum possible change cannot be obtained by both the fluids except in very special case. Okay, so usually we can take CH as CMC into CPC. Okay, so usually we take maximum is the minimum of the two values, that is Q max is nothing but C minimum into temperature difference at the inlet. Okay, so you can take epsilon as q, that is ch. Okay, th1 minus th2 divided by maximum possible heat transfer defines the minimum value of C minimum, that is cc or ch. Okay, into inlet temperature difference. This is with respect to hot fluid. This formula is with respect to cold fluid. Okay, if you define the q in terms of emissivity, so this is the formula. Okay, so this is the basics of heat exchanger effectiveness and number of transfer units. So let's see further based on the derivations. Okay, so these are the derivations which is the effectiveness of heat exchanger, that is with respect to parallel flow and counter flow. So this is the derivation is with respect to parallel flow. Okay, so if you remember the derivation of heat exchangers with respect to parallel flow and counter flow, at the beginning the same temperature distribution curve will be useful here. So here if you take the heat transfer, that is for a particular elemental area of a heat exchanger, at that particular heat transfer, so it will be given as U into dA into Th minus Tc, where Th and Tc are temperature at that particular point of hot fluid and cold fluid. Okay, so here Q also be we can taken as mCph into dt. Okay, this is with respect to hot fluid, mc into cpc into dtc with respect to cold fluid. So this is in the format of mc delta t. Okay, so I will take here m into cph as c capital ch. Okay, mc into cpc as capital C into c. Okay, so this is just a notation. Okay, so now what happens, I want dth and dtc from these two formulas. So how it can take dth as minus dq by ch, dtc as dq by cc. Now you take a difference of these two. Okay, what happens, so this is the formation it will be happening. Okay, now so what is the value of dq, you can just substitute the value of 1 from here in this equation. Okay, so this is the format which we will be getting. So now you have to integrate on the both sides with respect to inlet and outlet of the fluid. Okay, so left hand side will changes it as lan. Okay, right hand side it is dA will be converting to A. Okay, so this is the only difference. Now what I will do here, I will take ch common in this step. okay, CH common in this step. So what happens? 1 plus CH by CC. Okay, now so if I transfer ln to right hand side, it will become exponential, that is e to the power of this equation. Okay, now we know that effectiveness formula. Okay, this is the effectiveness formula. As I told you, actual heat transfer to the maximum possible heat transfer. Okay, so this formula you have to resubstitute back here in terms of TH2 TH1 TC1. Okay, now by rearranging those two equations and substituting back in this equation number 3. Okay, in equation number 3, what? TH2 and TC2. If you substitute back, if you rearrange the equations, you will be getting in terms of C minimum and exponential format. If you take common epsilon has, and if you transfer to right hand side, so this is the equation you will be getting. Now, so this is the important step you have to remember, that is, if Cc is greater than Ch, then C minimum will be Ch, right, and C maximum will be Cc. So whatever the Cc and Ch are there, just replace it with C minimum and C maximum. Okay, so once you get the values, you just by arranging the equation number 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, so we get a common equation. So this is the common equation. Now, so now we have to group the certain terms in dimensional expression called the number of transfer units, that is UA by C minimum. I repeat, UA by C minimum will be defining you NTU, that is number of transfer units. Okay, it is just nothing but a measure of effectiveness of the heat exchanger, how effective your heat exchanger will be working under this condition. Okay, so it is common with respect to parallel flow and even counter flow. Okay, now if you replace it with NTU, so this is the expression which you will be getting in terms of parallel flow heat exchanger. Okay, so this formula is also available in the data handbook. Okay, okay, similar to that, that is parallel flow derivation, and this is counter flow derivation. So the procedure remains the same. Okay, the procedure remains same. The only difference is the inlet temperature difference here is TH1 TC2. Okay, where outlet temperature difference is TH2 TC1. So here and the negative sign will be coming, because here cold fluid will be also gaining the fluid in the reverse direction. Okay, so this is the only changes. In the rest all this procedure remains the same. Okay, the calculations and all the parts with respect to, okay, and the exact ultimate equation also defines which is available in the data handbook, that is effectiveness of heat exchanger in a parallel flow and counter flow in terms of NTU. Okay, so this is the basic derivation which you have to be practiced very well, that will be asking in university question papers. Okay, so thank you guys.